Anna here from Being in Sync 366 video series. And today I have been messaging with clients about their sessions. And a lot of people before a session are, what there's so many things that I want to change, but can people really decide on what they are willing to change? I think that's really what it is. But today I wanted to talk about getting bad news and shocking news, let's just say, and then how do you turn it around into hope? And I think it's most important, first of all, to know that, we all have our own journey. We all have things that are going on with us physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, that can be very challenging, and that does not escape me by any means. So, one of the things that when my mother was dying, one of the things that we did was we did a heavy metal test. And I don't know if you know what that is, but a heavy metal test is where you pull the hair out and then you cut it and then you send it in and you get a report. And it shows you your toxicity levels. Well, when my mother did it and I saw her results, I was encouraged to do mine after she died. So she passed away and she was already ill. So there was not a lot of things that could be done that she was willing to do, that would have at that time changed her direction. Um, but after she passed away, I got my heavy metal test done, and I finally had the answers that I was looking for as to what was causing my issues, because I would go from doctor to doctor to doctor, and I've told this story before where I've gone up to 8 or 9 different opinions to get the right opinion to move forward with. Anyways, I have since I was in my 40s, so over 10 years now, I've been doing heavy metal testing. And this is what it looks like when you get a report from doctors' data. And it basically lists all the different toxicities that you could get from, you could get it from many different places. But if it's in the red, which is where I started in the red in my 40s, it's taken me 10 years to get completely out of the red. And now I have 2 markers that are in the yellow. One was in the red when I started. So it's taken me 10 years. So traditional medicine has no answers or protocols for how to remove uranium from your system, which I was in the red, which is essentially radiation. And radiation, any toxicity in your system will cause a reaction in how you resonate energetically with everything. That's situations, people, you name it, it will mess it up. Anyways, my whole point is that when you get shocking information, whether it's your health, or maybe it's a loss of a job, or maybe it's you just feel depleted with your physical diagnosis of a doctor telling you have to have surgery, which, by the way, you don't have to do anything that a doctor tells you to do. Thank God I didn't listen to my doctors, is what I'll have to say. My trajectory would have been significantly worse had I listened to any of the doctors, for 2 significant situations in my life that I've had where I had medical situations, and their recommendations would have been debilitating at best. So I chose not to follow their protocols, and I follow my own health. And I really have weaned myself off from going to the medical, although I utilize tests and I use my own data to diagnose and to move forward where I need to adjust on herbs. So you get this shocking information, and you can really go into your head and you can really get depressed or fearful or helplessness. And that does not serve you to go into your power. So, where hope resides is within the heart space. It's not something that you think. You can have a hopeful attitude, but hope only expands when you're in your heart space. That's where potentials emerge for new opportunities. And Like, this is a yo-yo. I do my test and it goes down. I do another test and there's a marker on here for something that I have never tested for 10 years. So it's like adjust, adjust, adjust. And I think to have a place of hope is to know that, you're on the journey and you're like living life, and you're not living life in fear, but you're living life with hope and potentials and possibilities, and with love and compassion. And that is how you approach things, not from a place of fear. Being afraid of what the doctors might say, being afraid of what the data might say. Like, there was a time that I was doing these tests every quarter, and I was doing them so frequently because I wasn't getting results. And until I started to turn it around, I didn't go to once a year. And now I do it as a protocol once a year because I'm still cleansing to get these heavy metals out. I would like them all to be low, out of the yellow and down into the green. But so that's where I'm going today, is to reassess, adjust my herbs and my protocols moving forward for the rest of this year until October, November timeframe, when I will cleanse again. And so I have that kind of in my head, and I never lose the hopefulness of transcending my situation. Whatever situation that is, you can transcend it when you are in connection to your heart. And I think that's the message for today is, your heart connection is not coming from your head. It's not coming from your thoughts. And I think a lot of people have been programmed to listen to their thinking. And I think your thinking is important because thoughts become things. However, if you are in pure connection to your heart, then you don't have to work so hard, but you must build that connection to your heart. And hope resides in the heart. So, for those of you who are looking to have more hope, you must be present in your heart space and you will feel hopeful all the time. So, cheers to being in sync. I am Kiana Sage, and I guide people to peace.